Camilo! Yes, hi, Vanessa McApple, live here from the E! News Network office in California. So, I've had the pleasure of viewing your movie, Chispa Started the Fire. Let's start off with the obvious. Now, what was your approach for this? What's the overall message you wanted to convey to your audience? Interesting, very interesting. Would you mind building off of that? What's an example of one of your hidden details in the novel? I'm not sure I'm following you. So, Chispa's death. Why did you include this little tidbit at the beginning of the book? Of course, I see this here. I brought along a copy of the novel with me. I was so excited about getting the chance to interview you that I picked up a copy this morning and I gave it a quick glance. I have some quotes on page 21 here. Let's see. I realize now that her eyes were like those of a priest listening to confession, that she had the look of a confessor, coldly scrutinizing, the eyes of a lynx, the look they say a lynx fixes on you, and the bitch went on peering at me with a fixed stare, as if she had never seen me before, as if she were on the point of accusing me of something terrible at any moment, and her scrutiny roused the blood in my veins to such a pitch that I knew the moment was near when I would have to give in. Now, what I'm still not understanding, and forgive me, is why you included this murder at the beginning of the book as to opposed to the end. It seems so random. Why would you place it here? That's absolutely fascinating, Camilo. Now, why did you format your book this way? What was your ultimate goal that you wanted to accomplish by doing so? Well, you're doing an amazing job. You're very good at what you do, and might I say, quite handsome. So, throughout the course of this interview, particularly your answer to the last question we've asked, you've talked about some foreshadowing for what is to come for Pascal and important words the reader should remember for the future. What is Pascal's future, and how does that involve Chispa? Well, I gotta hand it to you. This is probably the most fascinating interview I've ever had in the history of my career here at E. Oh, it looks like time is running out for this segment. Do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to add? Wow. Thank you very much for your time. Unfortunately, that's all we have for today on E. We hope to have you on the show again, Mr. Sala. This has been Vanessa McApple. Stay warm. So, here we have Hilga Van Buren from Cherry Tree Elementary School. How did you feel when Hawthorne first introduced Hester and began to describe her as a person? It kind of hinted that there was some beauty in sin. How did that work for you?
Well, personally, I really connected with that, because I think we're all sinners. Myself, I'm a sinner. So, but it also provided some really intense, like, foreshadowing. So, it made me really want to keep reading, and it really just introduced the theme of beauty and sin. And, yeah, great question, thanks.
So, we're here with Timmy from the Boy Scouts of America.
Troop 131.
So, Timmy, what is the effect of Hawthorne characterizing Hester through Pearl and her actions?
Pearl is definitely a positive thing to come out of the sin, the adultery that was committed. And I believe that Hawthorne did this to show the tension between Hester and Pearl ultimately, and to show, oh yeah, record, to further make the reader investigate on whether or not Pearl was really a blessing to come out of the adultery. So it kind of makes the reader wonder, and it kind of makes the reader want to read more. So, Louise, you read The Scarlet Letter as a child in your English class. I was just wondering, what do you feel was significant? What do you feel was significant about how Hawthorne had Dimmesdale handle the sin completely opposite from how Hester handled the sin?
Well, honestly, I think these characters were very dynamic, and Hawthorne just really wanted to show the story from two sides, from two characters, so the story wouldn't be static, and it just really moved the book along, you know.
It moved the plot?
Moved the plot, yes.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your question.
I'll talk to you later. Oh my god, is that poop?
Why do you think Hawthorne decided to make Chillingworth represent science while the rest of the Puritan society represents religion?
Well, religion is a very important Bye! It arose conflict between the two characters because of the clashing beliefs of religion and science. Hawthorne had Chillingworth represent science to further move the plot along. A moment is defined as a very brief period of time. Many moments make up a lifetime. Some could argue that our moments affect our life, and how we handle this displays our character. For example, Bethany Hamilton, surfer extraordinaire. When she was younger, she was attacked by a shark and lost her arm. Instead of wallowing and feeling sorry for herself, she got right back in the water and became one of the best surfers in the world. In 2014, our class read Of Mice and Men and Persepolis, and in 2015 we read 102 Minutes and Macbeth. I'll be discussing several of these key texts in my presentation, but first, I'm going to discuss a minor work, The Sniper by Liam O'Flaherty. He writes, "Then when the smoke cleared, he peered across and uttered a cry of joy. His enemy had been hit." But who is this enemy? After a while, the lust of battle died in him. He became bitten by remorse. This is how Macbeth feels after killing King Duncan. The sniper turned over the dead body and looked into his brother's face. Now on to the first major text, which will be Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. Marjane wasn't like most girls. She had a very strong voice and was quite opinionated. On page 17 of Persepolis, Marjane states that for a revolution to succeed, the entire population must support it. So, Marjane took the idea of a revolution, and she simply rebelled against it. The year of the revolution, I had to take action. Page 10 of Persepolis. Marjane knew that if she wanted her moment, she would have to act. Finally, Marjane states, that the revolution is like a bicycle. If the wheels don't turn, it falls. Marjane's single moment was rebelling against the revolution. This displayed her character as brave, independent, wise, and smart. And look at where her bravery got her today.
Is this movie 100% autobiographical, or is this a fictional story inspired by your ordeals?
In documentaries, they are part fictional. As soon as you make a story, you have to have some fiction. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Et l'enfer. Nos soldats meurent tous les jours aux frontières pour sauver notre cher pays de l'indécence.
Regarde.
En portant bien vos voiles,
Ah bah, c'est
vous
pour
leur
les
prouverez
nunuches.
que vous restez.
Well, I guess some truths are universal.
Another minor text we discussed during the school year was To Build a Fire by Jack London. In this story, a man has been warned to never travel alone in weather that's under -50 degrees. But a lucky moment causes his character to become overconfident, and he travels alone despite the warning, as shown in this quote. The single moment of deciding to travel alone in unsafe conditions revealed his character to be overconfident and cocky, and ultimately led to the man's demise. The second major text I'll be discussing is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. There are two guys, George and Lenny. Lenny is very large and has a mental disability. George ends up shooting Lenny and killing him on purpose. I'm going to be deciding whether or not this single moment reveals George to be brave or cruel. And was he right or wrong? On page 91, Lenny accidentally kills the wife of Curly by snapping her neck because he's unaware of his own strength. Lenny warns Curly's wife, saying, "You're going to get me in trouble and I don't want to hurt you." George loved Lenny, but George also knew that Lenny was a danger to others and himself because his mental disability prohibited him from knowing when enough was enough. This shows that the single moment of George shooting Lenny revealed George's character to be brave, and he made the right decision.
No family. And they ain't got nobody in the world to give the hoot and hell about it. But not us. That's it, George. But not us. Tell about us now.
Not us.
Because
I got you.
and I got you, George. That's what that gives a hoot and hell about us, George. But tell now how it's gonna be.
The last minor text is the movie Argo. On November 4th, 1979, Iranian activists stormed the U.S. Embassy. While 50 were held hostage, 6 escaped. Their leader, Mendez, doesn't cower in fear, but comes up with a brilliant plan which involves these things. This allows them to escape on the planes just as their plan is unraveled. This single moment of deciding to take charge shows Mendez's character to be quick, brave, smart, and cunning. Finally, the last major text is Macbeth by William Shakespeare. In Macbeth, he visits 3 witches who declare that Macbeth will be the Thane of Cawdor, Banquo will beget kings, and Macbeth will be king. This plants the idea into Macbeth's head that, hey, maybe he should kill King Duncan so he can be king. At first, Macbeth is reluctant to carry out his plan, but Lady Macbeth sets him straight, claiming that he is not a man if he doesn't kill King Duncan. Lady Macbeth is pretty evil and has a strange influence on her husband throughout the whole book. She wants to be queen, badly. After the death of Duncan, people of the town become more and more suspicious of who the killer is. Although Macbeth feels guilty, he does not stop killing, and the hit list for who he has to kill grows longer and longer, with the rising suspicion, and he starts to go insane. That one single moment of killing Duncan ruined Macbeth's life and ultimately ended it. It showed his character to be selfish, greedy, and while it showed that he was not able to stand his own very well, he is easily influenced and weak. And while in Of Mice and Men, George had legitimate reasons for murdering, Macbeth had none. Alright, that's cool. I give up.
Nuestras vidas con comida por Betsy y Kyle.
Hola, me llamo Betsy.
Y me llamo Kyle.
Cuando era una niña me gustaba comer confitería y macarrones y queso.
Y cuando era un niño me gustaba comer carne y el sándwich de queso a la parrilla y sopa. Mi sopa favorita era brécol y queso de panera.
Yo pienso que tú comes mucho ahora.
Sí, cuando era un niño también.
También me gustaba comer a Applebee's y Chili's.
Ah, sí, a mí también me gustaba comer a Applebee's cuando era un niño.
Pero mi comida favorita cuando era una niña era galletas. ¿Te gustaban galletas?
Galletas, no. Preferí comidas saladas. Por ejemplo, me gustaban astillas.
Ah, me gustan astillas, pero no si son demasiado saladas. Prefiero comidas dulces, luego y ahora.
Sí. ¿Qué comes tú?
Galletas saladas. ¿Quieres algún?
Sí, gracias.
De nada. Kyle, ¿qué es tu comida favorita?
Actualmente me gustan los mariscos.
Yo también. Comí un montón de él durante las vacaciones. Me gusta comer pez, camarón y cangrejo. Siempre he querido probar la langosta.
Come la langosta, es muy bien. Yo recomiendo.
Bueno, me aseguraré probarlo una vez. ¿Dónde tú vas de tapas?
Todavía me gusta comer a Panera y Applebee's, pero ahora me gusta comer a Bub's y City Barbecue y Piata. ¿Qué sobre tú?
Me gusta comer a Papa John's, McAllister's
Y
Steak and Shake. Y me gusta Panera también.
En realidad, Panera sueña muy bien en este momento. ¿Quieres ir?
Suegro, voy a conseguir mis cosas.
En el futuro, yo tendré muchas más oportunidades por comida. Yo tendré una ocupación y yo haré mucho dinero para comprar comidas caros. Los bistecs raros y especialidades que no comprar en las tiendas o supermercados. También yo voy a comer en restaurantes fantásticos. Estas comidas y voy a comer en el futuro.
Soldier, what's up? Hey, I got you new dance down called the Soldier Boy. You got a punch, then crank back 3 times for a
Cuando yo soy mayor, espero que me gustaría langosta. Esperemos que voy a tener un trabajo que me da dinero mucho y puedo probar muchas comidas nuevas. Tal vez trabajaré a un restaurante, comeré muchas comidas deliciosas y abre un plato principal que es famosa en todo el mundo. Y yo inventaré-lo. Será una hamburguesa con una salsa secreta. Y la salsa es lo que hace el sabor tan bueno. Hablando de comida, me pregunto cómo hacer un queso a la parrilla. ¿Cómo hacer un sándwich de queso a la parrilla? Necesitas 2 rebanadas de pan, 3 rebanadas de queso y la mantequilla. Dejo el sándwich cocinar durante 4 minutos por cada lado antes de darle la vuelta. Aquí tienes.
¡Gracias! ¡Arriba! ¡Ándale, ándale!
Hay muchos tipos diferentes de comidas interesantes de todo el mundo que comparten las diferentes culturas y gustos de los países de todo el mundo. Las comidas de algunos países pueden ser compartidos en todo el mundo. Por ejemplo, los restaurantes mexicanos en Indiana. Comidas une a las personas de todo el mundo más cerca, por lo que Kyle y yo elegimos este tema para nuestra presentación en video. Esperemos que te haya gustado. Gracias por tu tiempo. También me gustaba comer Applebee's. También.
No, we have to start it again.
No, we don't.
Yes, we
It's
do.
fine.
No.
También.
¿Qué comes tú?
Dos saladas. ¿Quieres algún?
Sí, gracias.
De nada. Kyle. ¿Qué?
I was wondering about the grass. I was wondering about the grass. I was wondering about the crackers. Those are really good crackers.
Come help me, Phil! Come here!
Are you proud of yourself?
I don't know what happened.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll get some more.
Can you turn your face a little more so the balloon is right on it?
Go away!
We need to talk.
What?
We need to talk. You first.
No,
you. Okay, stop. Enough. Heidi, why don't you go first?
But
I'm going to let your mother talk first.
But this is really important.
I'm sure it is. And we'll be back with you and let you hear what you have to say in a minute. Heidi?
Thank you. Listen, I've been thinking a lot about all this. I mean, all this.
You don't want to go through the remodel?
Well, I didn't say that exactly. It's just, I've been thinking about it.
I can't believe it.
Paul, I'm so sorry. You know, it's not that we shouldn't do it. I've been processing.
No, don't be sorry. I can't believe it because I've been rethinking this too.
You have?
Yes, I have. I just know how much you wanted to go through with this.
I did. I do. It just doesn't feel right.
I know.
It is taking so much time.
Oh, I know.
And, Cheryl, I haven't seen her for days, and she needs me.
Well, and after my talk with Frank about what my calling is, I've been thinking about taking some classes online.
That's a great idea.
But it takes time and money.
Yeah. And we did give up our dream home in the country.
Thank you.
And also, there are things I've been wanting to do to this house forever.
That's true.
But we don't need to do all of this. This is a lot. We could get along with the kitchen the way it is. We could survive with the bathroom the way it is right now.
And it is a strain.
Yeah.
When we get done with this, the whole thing, we're not going to have a whole lot left.
Wait, we won't have any money.
We'll be fine.
We could live, but we won't have a whole lot extra. I'm not sure I want to. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. However, I love what Frank's put together.
It's gonna be beautiful.
We should put a chandelier over the kitchen.
We should, I mean, with the bidet and
Look at
everything.
those, how they work. And look how we should the darkwood for sure, because that is going to
Can I say something now?
I'm sorry. Honey, I forgot.
Go ahead.
You had something you wanted to tell us?
Yeah, you know Sarah from my soccer team, right?
Yeah, she's a great girl.
Seems like a nice family. I like talking to her dad.
Yeah, well, speaking of, her family's going through a pretty rough time.
What's going on?
Her mom actually just got diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, no.
Really?
How'd you find out?
Coach told us after practice. He said their family's in need of a lot of help.
What can we do to help?
Look, I know they need help with the money. Her dad doesn't have a job right now, and her mom is obviously going to take a lot of time off of hers.
That's awful.
Sarah's been there for me when I needed someone. And her family's been really great too.
Listen, we can help.
Sure.
But then there's all this talk about the money.
Don't worry about that. We'll figure out some way to help.
Great. I'll forward you guys the email from Coach. All the information is in there.
Okay,
We'll take
great.
Okay. Actually, I think I am going to go and get started on my homework.
Okay.
So I will talk to you guys later.
Hey, Sam. Thanks
For what?
for being a good kid. I think you know what we need to do.
Yeah, I do.
Honey, I'm sorry.
Why? We were both thinking the same thing. Sam just confirmed it.
We've got to be there.
In every way.
Well, we should probably finish the bathroom. I mean, Frank's got a pretty good start on it.
It's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, I'll call him in the morning and let him know we're not going to do the rest.
That's a plan.
Hey, can you help me with these online classes?
I would love to.
I really wanted that man cave.
I know. It's a good thing you don't have it, though, because if you did, I'd never see you.
So true.
Ben, they're not camera shy. Look at them. All right. Excellent. Thanks, Nick. Give him a nice slinky. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, my gosh.
Ready?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Did you get it?
Ouch! Let's
Okay, you can lift him out whenever you want. Go, baby, go. Okay. Look at him. He won't stop. He's confused. Keep going, Ollie. Must get there. Must get there. Oh, good.